Welcome to the class. Today we will start second subtopic under module 4, which is Bessel's differential equation and its series solution. The standard form is x square d square y by dx square plus x dy by dx plus x square minus n square into y equal to 0. You can note this differential equation is once again homogeneous linear differential equation with variable coefficients. This equation seems to be similar to your Legendre's equation. In this equation, the role of P naught of x is played by x square, P1 of x is equal to x, and P2 of x is equal to x square minus n square. Now, before getting into the solution of it, first let me try to understand why we can't use the method which we employed for Legendre's equation to this. Now, if this is our differential equation, first we are going to check this condition whether P naught of 0 is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. If P naught of 0 is not equal to 0, then we claim x equal to 0 is an ordinary point, which means we can employ power series method and your solution will be assumed as y is equal to summation r equal to 0 to infinity ar x power r. In expanded form, it looks like this. Okay, this is what we did under Legendre's differential equation. Now, why we can't use this method for the Bessel's equation? If I put x equal to 0 in it, this gives P naught of 0 is equal to 0, which means this condition is not satisfied here. So for Bessel's equation, x equal to 0 is not an ordinary point. Then what next? This is what we are going to check. If P naught of 0 is equal to 0, in that case, x equal to 0 is called singular point. And further, we are going to check these two conditions. Limit x tends to 0, x into P1 of x divided by P naught of x. Also, limit x tends to 0, x square multiplied to P2 of x divided by P naught of x. Now, if these two quantities are finite, then x equal to 0 is a regular singular point. Okay, if x equal to 0 is a regular singular point, we can find the solution of this differential equation, and the method is called Frobenius method. In that method, we are going to assume our solution in this form: summation r equal to 0 to infinity ar x power m plus r, with the assumption a naught is not equal to 0. This condition is very important. So, in expanded form, this will look like this: x power m multiplied to the same infinite series. That is, you can note here in this summation depends on r. So, x power m is purely a constant here. If I want, I can just keep it outside the summation. So, that is what I have done here. I just kept x power m outside the summation, and the remaining infinite series, the remaining part is exactly same as this. So, if x equal to 0 is an ordinary point, then we can use power series method, and if x equal to 0 is a regular singular point, we should employ Frobenius method. Now let us see whether Frobenius method is suitable for this Bessel's differential equation. Now we have proved P naught of 0 is equal to 0, which says x equal to 0 is singular point. Now let us check whether x equal to 0 is a regular singular point or not. For that, let me consider limit x tends to 0, x p1 of x divided by p0 of x, which means it is x square by x square, that becomes 1. So the value of this limit is 1. And limit x tends to 0, x square p2 of x by p0 of x. So as x tends to 0, so this expression just gives minus n square, which means x equal to 0 is a regular singular point as these two limits are finite. So for this problem, Frobenius procedure can be used. My assumption will be y is equal to summation r equal to 0 to infinity ar x power m plus r with a0 is not equal to 0. The remaining part of the procedure is exactly similar to the method which we employed for Legendre's differential equation. Now we will find dy by dx and d square y by dx square from this. Now by differentiating this with respect to x, we have y dash is equal to summation ar is a constant. Differentiation of x power m plus r is m plus r into x power m plus r minus 1. Now differentiate this with respect to x again. That gives y double dash equal to m plus r minus 1 into x power m plus r minus 1 minus 1. That is x power m plus r minus 2. Now substitute these three expressions back in the differential equation. Our first term is x square into d square y by dx square. So multiply x square to this and that will be our first term. That is summation m plus r minus 1 ar x power m plus r minus 2, and this plus 2 makes it just x power m plus r. Now come to the second term, plus x into dy by dx. Now multiplying x to this gives x power m plus r minus 1 plus 1, that just gives again x power m plus r. Now if we come to the third term, so it has got two terms in it, x square into y. So multiply x square to this, that gives plus summation ar x power m plus r plus 2 minus n square into y. So minus n square, y is written as it is. Now from this first, second and third term, ar x power m plus r is common, and all the summation starts with the same limit r is equal to 0. So we will combine all these three terms to write it as a single expression, summation m plus r into m plus r minus 1 from this first term plus m plus r from the second term, and from this fourth term it is just minus n square into ar x power m plus r. I will write this third term as it is and equate it to 0. Now if I just look at this one, m plus r is common between these two. If I take m plus r common, we get m plus r minus 1 plus 1. That makes it just m plus r. So it is m plus r whole square minus n square into ar x power m plus r. And this expression is written as it is. Now we can note the power of x in first summation is m plus r, and in second summation m plus r plus 2. But to group these two summations, we are expecting the power of x should be same. For that, I will do small change in this second summation. We will write the first summation as it is, and in the second summation I will replace r by r minus 2. Now with this, the lower limit is r minus 2 equal to 0. That becomes r equal to 2. And r minus 2 equal to infinity is nothing but r is equal to infinity. That is what our upper limit. Just come inside. ar becomes ar minus 2. And this is x power m plus r minus 2 plus 2. That will cancels to give just x power m plus r. Now the power of x is same in these two summations, but still we have one more problem. That is, here lower limit is 0, here the lower limit is 2. So we can't combine these two summations. So what else can be done? Now we will just take a first two terms of this summation. That is, if I put r equal to 0 in it, that gives m square minus n square a naught x power m. And put r is equal to 1, that gives m plus 1 whole square minus n square a1 x power m plus 1. And from 2 onwards, we will just keep it as it is. This summation is written as it is. Now, in the next step, we will equate the coefficient of x power m. That gives m square minus n square a naught equal to 0. Now, you can note, since we assumed a naught is not equal to 0, we are expecting m square minus n square should be 0. This quadratic equation is called indicial equation. And by solving this, we get two roots, m equal to n and m equal to minus n. Now, by equating coefficient of x power m plus 1, we get m plus 1 whole square minus n square a1 equal to 0. Since we have proved m square equal to n square here, so definitely m plus 1 whole square cannot be equal to n square. So obviously we are expecting a1 has to be 0 in this case. That's good. Now next, equate the coefficient of x bar m plus r. Since these two summations starts with the same limit, we get m plus r whole square minus n square ar plus ar minus 2 equal to 0. Now find the value of ar in terms of ar minus 2. This is what the expression is. And you can note here ar uses ar minus 2. The minimum value that r can take is 2, so that this becomes a naught. So this recurrence relation is valid for r greater than or equal to 2. And you can note, since a1 is 0 here, a3 has to be 0 because a3 uses a1, and a5 has to be 0 because a5 uses a3, a7 has to be 0 because it uses a5. So which means likewise a9, a11, a13, all these constants are zeros. So which means we are supposed to find only a2, a4, a6, a8 and so on. Now to do this, since this depends on both m and n, and we know that m takes two values, n and minus n. Now first let me discuss with respect to the first root of the indicial equation, that is m equal to n. For this we get ar equal to 1 upon n square minus n plus r whole square ar minus 2. In the denominator, here we have a plus b whole square form, and with the expansion we get minus n square, that will cancels with plus n square, and minus r will be common from the remaining expression, and we will get minus r times 2n plus r. And from this recurrence relation we can find a2, a4, a6, a8 and so on. Now for r is equal to 2, a2 is equal to, this becomes a naught divided by minus 2 into 2n plus 2. 2 is taken common. We get minus a naught divided by 2 square into n plus 1. Similarly, if I put r equal to 4, we get a4 equal to minus a2 divided by 4 into 2n plus 4. Here 2 is common and 4 can be written as 2 square. That gives us minus a2 divided by 2 cube into n plus 2. But a2 is known to us. Substitute minus into minus plus a naught divided by 2 cube into 2 square. That becomes 2 power 5 n plus 1 into n plus 2. In the same lines, we can find a6, a8, all these expressions in terms of a naught. And substitute all these values in our assumption y equal to x power m times this power series. Now for m is equal to n, y is equal to x power n times a naught plus a1 is 0, substitute a2, and a3 is 0, substitute the value of a4, and so on. And you can note this is the solution corresponds to the first root m equal to n of our initial equation. And we will call this solution as y1, and we will take a naught common from all these terms and we'll just put it in this form. Okay. Now this is the solution of this Bessel's equation corresponds to the root m is equal to n. Now corresponds to the root m equal to minus n, we will get one more solution, and it is found by replacing each occurrence of n by minus n in this, and we will call that solution as y2. And since y1 and y2 are linearly independent solutions of this differential equation, we can claim the complete solution is y is equal to arbitrary constant into y1 plus an arbitrary constant into y2. But further, by choosing the value of a naught is equal to 1 by 2 power n into gamma of n plus 1, we get y1 equal to x power n divided by 2 power n into gamma of n plus 1 times 1 minus 1 by n plus 1 times x by 2 whole square plus 1 divided by n plus 1 into n plus 2. I will just write 2 power 4 with x power 4, and 1 2 is kept outside, and so on. Now further, we will make use of the property of a gamma function, gamma of n plus 1 equal to n into gamma of n. And further, if I replace n by n plus 1, you can note it gives n plus 1 into gamma of n plus 1, that is equal to gamma of n plus 2. So this can be used for the second term, because gamma of n plus 1 is multiplied to n plus 1, that can be written as gamma of n plus 2. In the same lines, gamma of n plus 1 into n plus 1 is gamma of n plus 2, and that is multiplied by n plus 2. That gives what? Gamma of n plus 3. Now, by substituting these expressions, y1 gives x by 2 power n times, take this gamma function inside, so it gives 1 by gamma of n plus 1 minus gamma of n plus 2 into x by 2 whole square plus gamma of n plus 3 into 2 x by 2 power 4 and so on. Now next we are supposed to express this infinite series in summation. For that we are supposed to identify the general term of this infinite series. For that, this is what I am doing. I will rewrite this expression as minus 1 power 0 divided by gamma of n plus 1 into 0 factorial into x by 2 power 0. And we will rewrite this one as plus minus 1 power 1 divided by gamma of n plus 2 into 1 factorial into x by 2 whole square. And this term as minus 1 square divided by gamma of n plus 3 into 2 factorial into x by 2 power 4 and so on. Now we can put this in summation as summation r equal to 0 to infinity minus 1 power r divided by gamma of n plus r plus 1 into r factorial into x by 2 power. You can note the powers are even powers 0, 2, 4. Next we will get 6. So it should be what? Multiple of 2. So x by 2 power 2r. Also x by 2 power n is a constant with respect to the summation, and you can take this inside the summation to have it as x by 2 power n plus 2r. And you can note this is the solution corresponding to first root of the initial equation. Now corresponds to our second root, that is for m is equal to minus n, or y2 becomes this. And this can be found readily by replacing each occurrence of n by minus n. And this first solution can be denoted as Jn of x, and this function is called Bessel's function of order n. And this infinite series or this summation is denoted as j minus n of x, and we call it as Bessel's function of order minus n. Hence we can express our general solution as y is equal to arbitrary constant into y1 is what? Jn of x plus an arbitrary constant b into y2, that is j minus n of x. So this is the solution of our Bessel's differential equation, and we are expressing our solution in terms of the Bessel's functions Jn of x and j minus n of x. And this is the complete solution or general solution of this differential equation, provided n is non-integer constant. I hope you people are comfortable with this derivation. And this derivation is very important from the point of your examination. Please practice. It is very simple one. So, and if you have any confusions or any doubts, let me know. Thank you all.